Good morning, John Tanner here. It is 2022, the very beginning of January. And we've been talking a lot about goals, especially on our Monday morning conference calls. And I know the first of years when everybody likes to set goals for that year and what they want to achieve. And hey, let's face it, 2021 brought a lot of challenges for most people. You know, our business was one of those businesses that fortunately, we were able to do a lot of things other companies and industries were not able to do. That really, I've said it years and years now that the final expense life insurance industry is pretty much recession proof, just simply because of the demographics of people that we work with and the products that we sell. It's a necessity. It's something that you just have to have for a good portion of the United States. And at the same time, we've learned throughout the pandemic that I don't want to say we're pandemic proof, but we were able to, because of our telesales program and the way that we sell and the ease of our platform, we were able to, instead of lose business, we actually gained and grew our business through the pandemic. So we've been very, very fortunate to be in the situation and position that we are. But now we roll back into a brand new year. And I want to give you 3 keys to setting and accomplishing goals, because let's face it, we've all set goals that we didn't accomplish. We've all made plans and had, New Year's resolutions that we meant well. We said the right things, but we just did not follow through. And that's really the culture of people these days. We set these big resolutions, we do these things, we come up with these catchy cliches, things that rhyme and sound real good for the new year. But, after a while, we become inconsistent with those goals. And I've said it for years. You've heard the people in this organization say it. My business partner, he says it all the time. Consistency is the key to everything. Anything great that you want to do, consistency, just hammering away, plugging away every single day at something. It doesn't matter if it's getting in shape, getting your body back in shape, looking good, making money, being a successful husband, wife, parent, whatever it is. It's all about consistency. It's not about what you're going to do someday, but it's about what you're going to do today and tomorrow and the next day. Ultimately, what are you going to do every day to accomplish your goals? Because that's what matters. Not someday, not even today, but every day. What you're going to do every day to accomplish those goals. So in our business, let's bring it home to final expense. What do we need to do? Well, let's talk about goals. Set big goals. We've got something called the 90-day game plan. You can find this on our website at agentsresourcegroup.com. It's there. You can download this in PDF form. We can mail you a copy of this if you want it, or if you can pick it up at our office here in Valdosta, Georgia. It's available. Let's just put it that way. We can email it to you, reach out to us. We can make sure you get it in your hands. But this is a 90-day game plan where it's written out and it's structured for you to show you exactly the steps that you need to take and what you need to do to be successful. And if you want a goal, this talks about goals and what you need to do with those goals. And I've got 3 simple steps for goals. Number 1, and before I even start on the 3 simple steps, let me tell you what you need to do before you even do any of this. You need to turn the page on 2021. You need to forget about your failures and forget about your accomplishments. Guess what? None of that matters now. It's all about today and tomorrow and every day, or for the next 364 days. What are you going to accomplish? So turn the page on yesterday. Turn the page on 2021. Maybe you had a terrible year. Maybe you had a great year, but whatever, that's in the past. Let's start now and let's move forward to what we want to accomplish and what we are determined to accomplish in this upcoming year. And so dream big. Don't let your past determine your future goals. Don't let your past failures or your past success determine your future goals, but dream big. Don't let your income or your bank account or how much money you made last year determine what you would dream for, strive for, and shoot for in this coming year. Let's have big dreams, big vision, big plans, and big goals. And if you aim big, you will find big. We got a saying, you know, when it comes to hunting or shooting, that you aim small and you miss small. Well, it's the opposite in this. Aim big. We want to aim huge. We want to have the biggest dreams, the biggest things, you know, and if we set huge goals that are almost unattainable and we get 80% there, it's still a success. It's still a victory for us. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to dream big. I want you to think big. And I don't want you to let your past or your present situations determine how big you're willing to dream for your future. Okay, 3 things you need to do. Number 1, once you have the vision, the goal, the plan in your mind, you have to write it down. You know, I read a book by Brian Tracy several years ago, and he showed all these studies that were done by Yale and Harvard University when it came to high achievers. And one thing that they found was that high achievers had the ability to write their goals down. Most high achievers would actually write their goals down, not just have them in their head, but write them down. And that those people, those high achievers that would write their goals down on paper, they made 10 times the amount of money that people who did not write their goals down made. How about that? 10 times the amount of money. So written goals can help you make 10 times more money. Let's just put it that way. Is it worth writing them down if you can 10x your income or 10x the amount of money you make next year? Is it worth writing them down? But these studies also showed that only about 5% of the world's population actually wrote those goals down. So if you are one of the people or in that group of people that actually writes their goals down, then you're in that 5% group. 95% do not write their goals down. 5% do write their goals down. But the 5% that actually write their goals down make 10 times the amount of money as the other 95%. So how did you get into that top 5% of the world's population that makes 10 times more money than everybody else? You start by writing your goals down. Write them down. Even the Bible says to make the vision plain, to write it down on tablets so that the one that reads it can run with it. And we got to do that. The next step, after we write our vision down, after we get this big grandiose, this big, huge, Darren Hardy calls them hairy, audacious goals. Once we get these down on paper, then we break them down. We take that big, big vision and we back into it and make it smaller. So if I want to make $100,000 next year, if I want to make $200,000, or if I want to make $1 million next year, whatever your number is, whatever your goal is, divide it by 12 and break it down into 12 months, or divide it by 52 and break it down into 52 weeks, or divide it by 360 days and break it down into 365 small little bites that you've got to do. What do I have to do every single day to get there? If it's to lose 20 pounds, that's a big goal. 20 pounds is a lot, especially if, for some people, but if you break that down into 52 weeks, it's not much every week that you have to lose. You don't have to cut your calories so much, and you can adjust a little bit along and along, and it makes things easier. Take that big goal, break it down into increments. What do we do? You've heard the old saying, how do you eat an elephant? You eat that elephant one bite at a time. Rome was not built in a day. It was built in many days, stacked upon each other. So what did I say before? It does not matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter what you do today as much as it matters what you do every day. Every day we take a small bite out of that dream, that vision, that goal, and we get a little bit closer. So number 1, we write it down. Number 2, we break it down. And number 3, this is where consistency comes in. It's not enough to write that goal down. It's not enough to break it down to know what you have to do. Because here's the thing about life. Most of the time, we know what we need to do, what we're supposed to do, and what we've got to do to be successful. We just don't do it. We know to get the arms to grow, we got to do curls and we got to do tricep work. We know these things. We know to lose weight. Bottom line, you got to eat less food. You got to put your body in a calorie deficit, but we just don't do it. Number 3 is the part that is the most crucial of all 3, and that is chase it down. You write it down, you break it down, then you chase it down by day in and day out, being consistent, swinging the bat every single day, striking with the axe, chopping wood every single day, getting a little bit better, doing a little bit more. So we write that goal down, we break that goal down, and then we chase it down. You know, Tom Petty's got a song called Running Down a Dream. That's a great song. It's an old song, but it's a good song. And that's what we do every single day. We're just chasing it down. Why do I get up every morning before everybody else? Because I'm chasing something down. Why do I work later than everybody else? Because I'm chasing something down. I'm running something down. I'm in pursuit. I'm after it. Listen, we got to quit expecting money to somehow find us, or our dreams to somehow come after us, but we've got to go after them. Dreams don't chase you, you chase them. And I understand, you know, the law of attraction and how we attract things in our life, but it's not by sitting still. The way you attract things is by going after it. And if you pursue that dream long enough, that dream will in turn begin to pursue you. If you go after that goal long enough, that goal at that point will begin to come after you, but you've got to pursue it. You've got to go after it. You've got to chase it down. You got to do the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to do all of those things that you need to do and that you have to do to get to those dreams. So write them down, break them down, and chase them down. If you'll do these things, you'll get to your dream. I'm going to do another one of these videos tomorrow. I'm going to send it out that just breaks all of that down into a 90-day game plan for us. And I'm going to make this relatable to our industry, to our business, and how that people that are selling final expense life insurance can do this and the numbers you need to do. And I'll give you a blueprint or a pathway to that. But for anyone else, I don't care if you're selling cars, I don't care if you're selling real estate, I don't care if you're a plumber, an electrician, I don't care what your vocation is. If you will do these things, if you'll write your vision down, make it big, make it huge, and write it down, then break it down and chase it down, and don't give up, no matter how long it takes. Listen, a lot of times it's going to take longer than we thought it would take, but it doesn't matter if eventually we arrive, because this is two things that I found out in life. Number one, it usually takes longer than you thought it would take. But guess what? The blessing is usually much bigger than you ever thought it could be. So it may take longer, but it may also be bigger. So let's go after it. Let's do the things we need to do to see our dreams come true. And let's live a life on purpose and live a life by design, not by default. Have a great year.